Apple cider donuts are the perfect thing for this fall season. They're so pillowy soft and so delicious with the cinnamon sugar on top of them. And we're going to be making them from scratch, and I cannot wait to share the recipe with you. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today, as you saw in the intro, we're going to be making some apple cider donuts. And I'm going to take you back to my stove because we're going to be working on something that's going to probably take the longest out of the whole recipe. We're going to go back to the stove and I'll show you what's going on back there. So in my saucepan here, I have 1.5 cups of apple cider, and I'm going to bring this up to a boil, and you're going to lower it once it comes to a boil. You're going to lower it to a simmer, and you're going to allow this to kind of thicken like a syrup for about 20 minutes or so. And then once it reduces, you're just going to get 1/3 of a cup of the syrup, and then we're going to set it aside to cool. So go ahead and let this come up to a boil, reduce it down to a simmer. I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. In my bowl here, I have 1/3 of a cup of white sugar and 1/3 of a cup of brown sugar. And to it, you're going to add 1 egg. Okay, go ahead and give that a mix. Okay, and then you're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Okay, and then I also have 3 tablespoons of butter that I popped into my microwave until it was melted. I'm using unsalted butter, so go ahead and add that in. Give it a mix. Okay, and then I have 1/2 cup of milk. Go ahead and add that in. Give it a mix. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys the apple cider. It's already started to reduce. It's already come up to a boil. And I just let it reduce down to a simmer. So it's been cooking for about 10 minutes. So go ahead and let it cook for about 10 more minutes. So in this little ramekin here, I have 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, and also 1/4 teaspoon of cardamom. Try to be careful with this because it's extremely hot, but the apple cider reduced and it's gotten a little bit thicker. So I'm going to set this aside for about 5 minutes or so. That way it cools down, because if you add it straight into your batter here, you have the risk of scrambling your egg, and you don't want to do that. So I'm just going to let this cool for about 5 minutes, and then we'll add it to our batter. I'm gonna pop this into the fridge to hopefully help it cool a little bit faster. Okay, so while the apple cider is cooling, I'm going to preheat my oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'm going to go ahead and get my donut pans all greased up. That way we're ready to go because we're almost done with the batter. Okay, so what I have here are 2 6-piece donut pans, and I'm going to spray them with some nonstick spray. And then I have my reduced apple cider. It's 1/3 of a cup. So go ahead and add that in. I kept it in the fridge for about 10 minutes. Okay, next you're going to add 1 3/4 of a cup of all-purpose flour. Okay, go ahead and give it a mix. Be careful not to over mix it. Okay, so if you have a piping bag like you would use for like decorating like cupcakes and like frosting and stuff like that, you could use that. However, I'm going to use like a Ziploc bag, and I'm just going to scoop the batter into this plastic bag. So go ahead and do that. This will all work out in the end, I promise. Okay, last bit. Okay, so I got all my batter in here. Okay, so I'm going to just like trim a small hole. Okay, and then you're just going to pipe. Not trying to press too hard because I don't want to overfill. I am so sorry for my piping skills. I don't do this very often at all, like, doing this. So I'm sure you guys will do a much better job than I did. But I'm just going to kind of smooth it out a little bit so there's like a nice donut hole. Okay, so I got about 8 donuts out of mine. I'm going to pop this into the oven for about 10 to 12 minutes or until they're a lightly golden brown at 350 degrees Fahrenheit, and I'll show you what they look like when they're done. Okay, so my donuts just came out of the oven. So if you take a toothpick and you insert it and it comes out nice and clean like that, then you know it's done. So I'm going to let these cool for about 5 minutes or so, and then we'll remove them from our dish. Okay, so I let it cool for a few minutes so I could handle it, but they feel so soft. I mean, they're lightly, you know, golden on this color here. So we're going to take some butter and we're going to coat it. I'm going to use a plate because I use this blackboard for my thumbnail. So I'm going to take a little bit of butter. I'm just going to go over it, top and bottom. All right, and you're going to take it and you're going to dunk it into your cinnamon sugar. I don't want to get any sugar on my floor, but look at that. That looks absolutely incredible. Okay, so go ahead and do that with all the rest of your donuts, and then I'll show you what they look like when I'm all done with them. Okay, so our apple cider donuts are done, and they smell so amazing. I cannot wait to try it. Go ahead and dig in. They're so soft whenever you pick them up. They're absolutely incredible. Wow, that is absolutely amazing. They're so soft and like pillowy. It's absolutely incredible. They're not dry at all. They're nice and moist. I have only had apple cider donuts like once in my life at an apple orchard. These taste just like it. They are absolutely amazing. The recipe is so easy. If I can do it, you guys can absolutely do it. The piping was like the hardest part for me because I'm not used to doing that. And be careful not to overbake them because you will make them dry. So every oven is different. So make sure you keep an eye on your donuts while they're baking. Otherwise, they're perfection. Anyway, I hope you make this recipe and I hope you enjoy them as much as we do. Please thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.